He was like the worst part of news radio, like next to Phil Hartman.
Andy Dick was the worst part of news radio.
Andy Dick is a goddamn clown, a tragic clown.
Yeah, a tragic clown that molested me in a closet, I'll have you know.
You had it coming. What were you wearing?
You never told that story.
I never did tell that story. It's
Do you
a
wanna-
long story.
Did he really do that?
Yes.
I feel like I've heard that story.
1,000,000% Andy Dick fucking basically tried to R-word me in a closet, dude. Because
I can see that.
It's a long story. I've never told it on this podcast. I don't know why. But I'll tell
Just tell it. Don't dance around
I'm not going to dance around anything. But long story short is that Chris Saunders, a friend of mine, was a huge fan of Andy Dick, and at the time he was doing a podcast with this guy named Dino Stamatopoulos, who works with like Dan Harmon and was Starburns on Community and all that stuff. So they had a band, I think, and Chris was always aware of where they were going to be playing. So he found out that Andy was having some private show at his art gallery, which we didn't know at the time, but he was living at because he didn't have a home.
Right.
So he rented this art gallery, and he was living in this art gallery.
Jesus.
So we show up, and there's expecting there to be like a lot of people there, and there was only like 5 people there. Okay. So it's I say long story short, but it's a very long story. And I'll try to make it as short as possible. But what happened was there was cocaine involved. Andy's like bringing it's a revolving door of all these like weird people. Andy sits next to me. This is Fat Josh at the time, by the way. So sits next to me and starts telling me how cute I'd be if I lost like 10 pounds, you know. And he starts like negging me and stuff like that. And then starts trying to kiss me and stuff. Which I like, check this out. I playfully said no, you know. I was like, stop it, you know. I was like that. Stop. Chris ends up wanting to leave, and I, for whatever reason, am like, I'm gonna stay. Chris ends up leaving, but then coming back because he smells danger in the air, and he's like, bro, are you sure that you want to stay? And I was like, yes, I'm sure I want to stay. So we end up going to this like after hours party or whatever, and Andy gets super drunk, more cocaine. It starts getting really ugly, and this random group of people at this after hours party invite us to go to this other dude's house that ends up being you remember that band Eagles of Death Metal that had like a bomb scare?
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard of them
at their show. So we go to his house. Right?
It wasn't a bomb scare. It was a shooting.
I thought it was
no, it was a shooting in the...
It didn't have anything to do with a bomb?
No, it was baklava, right? Or some shit in France.
In France, yeah. Like a lot of people died.
Yeah.
It was
not a scare, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Pray
I
for
think
Paris.
that's scary. But yeah, it was the Pray for Paris shit.
Yeah,
I don't expect Josh to know any historical event, though.
If it's about Paris, I'm fucking lost, dude. I can barely get to the 7-Eleven down the street, dude.
Well, white people don't want to do too much digging into their history. You know what I mean? But yeah.
The white side of my family is not from Paris, okay? But so we end up at the lead singer of this Eagles of Death Metal, his house, right? And the group just keeps getting weirder and weirder, but there's still a very few of us. And the guy, the Eagles of Death Metal, ends up showing this book that a fan made, and it's illustrating the deaths of the people at the concert and all that stuff. It's it gets very weird and very sad. There's a substance on the table that looks like cocaine, but turns out it's not cocaine, and I never really find out what it was because I was like told not to go anywhere near it.
Josh is now sober.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Now sober, yes.
Congratulations.
Then this Australian actress shows up, and she had just broken up with her boyfriend, and now she's... Oh, and by the way, I forgot. This is a key moment. Andy was trying to kiss me all night. And at this point, when we got to the Eagles of Death Metals, the lead singer, when we got to his house, at a certain point, with enough booze, I was like, fuck it. You know? Yeah. But it was just like a...
What kind of O was that?
That was the craziest O.
I didn't know what kind of podcast I signed up for. My conservative view. That's cool.
But it wasn't like he didn't mac me down. It was like it was like a peck, right? I'm turning red because of Ramon's reaction. That was so funny.
I'm turning red because I'm turned on.
Woo! So this Australian actress shows up. She broke up with her husband or got in an argument with her husband. She invites us back to her hotel room, and she's like basically proposing that me, her, and Andy have some sort of threesome.
I like it.
So we're gonna we order an Uber. By the way, the sun is coming up. It's one of those nights, and we rent an Uber to go to her hotel. This other girl who had just happened to be there the whole night needs a ride too, so she gets in the Uber, but she's not going to go with us to the hotel. Turns out she's also a huge fan of Andy's, right? So the whole ride there, she's sitting in the front and she's like gushing over Andy, saying how much she loves him and everything, yada, yada, yada. And Andy just keeps going in on her, like, fuck you, you stupid bitch, like, just fucking going crazy. Then Andy starts kicking the back of her fucking seat, and she's like, stop.
This is the seat of the Uber driver?
Of the girl who's a fan of him.
You were probably...
No, that was... that girl, the Australian actress, was in the back with us.
Okay.
That other girl was in the front seat.
Oh, okay.
And then the Uber driver, right? So Andy starts kicking his fan's seat. And he's like, fuck you, stupid bitch. She starts crying, right? And the Australian actress is like, fuck you, Andy, stop. And he's like, no, I'm not stopping, yada, yada, yada. And so she's like, the Australian actress is like, pull over. She gets out, takes the girl out. And she's like, fuck you, I'm never talking to you again, yada, yada, yada. So now it's me and Andy in the back of the Uber by ourselves after this long, crazy night.
Nice.
He starts saying... come back with me to my art gallery. I say I want to go home. He's like, just come with me to my art gallery and I'll order you an Uber. And I say, okay, fine. Right?
Jesus, Fat Josh.
Fat Josh was like, so we go back to his art gallery. It's just me and him now. And he said that he's going to call me an Uber, but that he's tired and he wants to go lay down.
Oh.
And I'm saying, okay, well, I'll wait downstairs. Call me an Uber. He's like, no, come lay down with me. And I'm like, no. Call me an Uber now. And he's like, I'm going to call you a fucking Uber. Do you want to go home or not? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, then come upstairs. I'm just going to lay down and I'll call you the Uber. So he's got this like closet area with a mattress in it that we're inside of, right?
Jesus Christ.
And he basically starts trying to put his hand on my pants. And I start grabbing his hand and I'm like, no. And then he starts like, and we're both pretty fucked up. And he starts rolling on top of me and like trying to hold me down and put his hands down my pants. And I keep telling him like, yo, stop, you know? And he won't stop. Luckily, he's fucking tiny, right?
What are his dimensions?
I mean, look, dude, we were close, but not that close. But luckily, he's a small dude. He's like pretty, for sure, skinny and short, right?
Oh, shit, no way.
Yeah,
I thought it was tall.
No. I mean, maybe we're the same height, but he's like a twig kind of.
Okay.
So I was luckily able to throw him off of me. I said, call me the Uber. He's like, fuck you. I'm not calling you an Uber. Walk home, you fucking bitch, all this stuff.
Wow.
I was going crazy.
I've done that.
Dude, so right? So I had to go back. I had to get my heels, and I grabbed them. And
walk of shame.
yeah. But I had to. This is the end of the long story. I had to call my friend Miguel, friend of the show. Great
Miguel,
episode.
Yeah, great episode.
And at like 6, 7 in the morning, and he came and picked me up on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh man, you street walking trash. Jesus
Christ.
Dude.
So fuck Andy Dick is the point of all of that.
But see, that right there proves my point. He's fucking hilarious. That was fucking funny, man. Joe Rogan ain't ever done shit like that.